Hello and welcome to the Query Channel. I'm Jason, your host. So let's talk about, I would love to be earning money. I would love to have money coming in that I had earned. I would love not to be on disability. Being on disability is problematic because, as you can see, the example of issues that can happen. Your money can be taken away from you at a second. They don't even notify you when it's going to happen, and it just disappears. You're given no chance to figure it out. No message saying you won't get any money this month. It just doesn't appear in your bank account. And is the stress and strain of that, which is compounded every time it fucking happens, worse than trying to put myself in a position where I can earn money? Now, the thing is, there's a lot of very big dangers with me doing that kind of thing. I would have to set up an office away from my main room. I'd have to use the kitchen. Why? Because if I turned my safe space into a workplace, it would no longer be a safe space. That's the thing. My safe space is safe because it is a place that doesn't require anything of me. It is there for me. I can do anything I want there. And I am not worried, oh my God, if I don't do this, I won't be able to pay for the electricity. So I would have to create a completely separate place. That's the first thing. And then I would have to do something that wasn't time limited, that I could do when I'm having a good day, because sometimes the most I can do is, the reason sometimes I don't do a stream is because sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm so fucked that there is nothing that even the effort of doing a stream or doing a video for people to watch is too much. My brain just isn't functioning. So I need something that isn't time that I can do when they need, and that I can work on without feeling pressured. And if I feel pressure, then my brain will shut down. I will freeze up. So it may not be possible, but I've got to look into it, because this kind of situation, and we know if reform gets into government, it's going to be worse. Reform want to cut disability costs by massive amounts, and they don't care who they get rid of. So, just going to have a drink. The good thing is I have a good computer, I have good AI resources, I have friends, but yeah, this is not what we would class as a good thing. Sorry about being on a rant and that, but yeah. I was in a really good mood. It was having a good weekend. Everything was going well. Well, okay and well for me. Okay, let's... I was so happy with everything being sorted, and I thought, yeah, everything's going to be fine. I mean, I've printed out like 150, and I mean that, 150 actual pages of receipts in there of all the proof of what the money's been used on and everything. We're doing what we can with what we've got, and what we've got ain't a lot. But yeah, I don't think people realise just how much most disabled people would love to work, would love to be able to function enough to work, would love to see their bank account and see an amount of money that they earn. It's a massive esteem boost. It's a positive thing. Most of us don't work, not because of choice, but because our brains, our bodies just don't function. I mean, think about it. I would love to be able to leave my house and not have to leave the house on the Quingo. I love going out on the Quingo, but believe me, if I could actually without having to think about it, put my coat on and walk out my front door, that would be such a freedom. The Quingo is a best case scenario for me and allows me to leave my house, allows me to have independence. I would love to be able to get on a bus, go on a train, go away at the weekend. You know what I would really love? I'd love to have a week and a weekend. I don't have that. I would love to have a week and a weekend. Check something. Let me sort something out on my... It's... You see, every day for me is the same. I get up, I see how much energy is, I try to get out of bed, I try to remember to go to the bathroom, I try to function enough to make a meal, I try to remember to have a wash. Maybe I'll have enough energy to have a shower. Maybe I won't. And that might be all I manage to do in an entire day. And people think that people like me are being lazy. No. But every day is like that. I don't get the joy of actually doing a week's work and then having a weekend off. Every hour of my day is the same. And that wears on you, it really does. I mean, people think, oh yeah, you can stay home, you don't have to do it. Most people find it depressing. It disconnects you from society. It makes you feel like you're not worthy. When I was working, yes, when I was younger, when my brain was not as fucked as it is now, of course there was only certain jobs I could do. Like, one of them was working at a potteries factory, and the only way it worked for me was I could go in at 2 a.m. in the morning, do all I needed to do before everybody arrived, and leave before the crowds got there, because people were just too much. I could do the little jobs I had to do all around, and I loved that little bit of thingy. But this was way before my brain got worse, things got worse. But I loved doing that, and then at the end of the week, getting a paycheck for working, and then going from there to the weekend and going out. Well, I say going out, it was going to the local tabletop role play. I danced Dungeons and Dragons and stuff and that, and doing the geeky thing, because nearly everybody there was autistic. I miss that. I miss that feeling. I miss that feeling of making money, my own money. The only other job I was able to do was night watchman. My mum had a friend who ran a local security guard company, and they had some places that were out of the way, no one bothered them, that it was just thinking they just needed someone there who would walk around the place in the dark at night. I had a wonderful giant maglite torch, and because I was alone, I was able to do it. both those jobs worked because I was isolated from people and I could just about function. But in my 20s and 30s, my issues became worse. I lost the ability to mask. I started to disconnect and go catatonic. It was not a good thing. But the part of it I do miss was working an entire week and then having the weekend off. I missed the weekend. See, what's the point? If you work, your weekends matter. Your time off matters. Your holidays matter. None of that actually matters to me, does it? Because every day is the same. It's cold out. The real cold wind just picked up here. So I'm just depressed and upset by what's happening. The money went into my account, went out of the account, and now I've got my benefits. Yay. I was going to wander around a bit, but it is getting really cold. There's a really cold wind out. Beep, beep, pigeons. Do you know what the sad thing is? If they don't sort out my money, I will have to start selling some of the stuff that I bought. That isn't good. Because the whole point of this was so that I could replace all my items with stuff that would last for years. Sorry if I'm still depressed. I was hoping usually coming out on the program makes me so happy. But I'm finding it hard to shift to get my brain to actually thinking, do I want to go into Tesco? I have got a little tiny bit of money, even though I've got no money coming in. And do I want to pick up something? I know I shouldn't, but do I need something to boost me? No, I can't afford it. Cannot afford to do anything like that. It's a silly idea, even though it might make me happy. Yep. What I've got in the bank has got to last for a month at least. I've got a couple of other items I can sell at the end of the month without touching anything important. So that's okay.